Today on the My Bourbon Journey Whiskey Review channel, we dive into 8 & Sand blended bourbon whiskey. This is a product that's produced, or a bourbon that's produced by our friends over at MGP out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. This is coming in at a proof of 88 or 44% ABV. Mash bill on this one is undisclosed. It is non-age stated. However, it is blends of bourbons that are in excess of 4 years old. So going back to 8 & Sand. So what is 8 & Sand? So basically, just through a little bit of information that I was able to gather, what 8 & Sand is, it refers to the 8th and fastest notch on a locomotive's throttle, and the sand is used on the wheel to prevent slipping. To wish a train crew an 8 & Sand is akin to smooth sailing. So that's interesting. A little bit of kind of fun fact regarding what the reference to 8 & Sand is. So just kind of goes back to the honor of their railroad system. So why don't we go ahead and kind of get into today's review. Again, this is a non-age stated product, and MSRP on this one is a friendly $30. So again, 88 proof or 44% ABV. So color-wise, as you can see, kind of a nice copper, lightish amber type of color. And again, a couple of things I always try to do is move the whiskey around in the glass a little bit, introduce some of that air to it, let it open up a little bit. And it also gives you an idea of how oily it may be on the palate. And actually, this one for an 88 proof bourbon actually has some really nice oils on this. I don't know if they're chill filtering this at all. There's a lot of their bourbons nowadays that they're not chill filtering. So maybe, again, if this isn't and it's at 88 proof, just the fact of it not being non-chill filtered will have a big impact flavor profile wise. So, all right, let's kind of dive into the review. First, we'll get into the nose here. Oh boy. So right away, like this big hit of like dark fruits, like a really intense dark fruit nose. That creamy caramel again on this one. Interesting. And the vanilla note on this is like almost like a vanilla pastry, like a vanilla wafer, that sweetness to it, but a little bit of that pastry that's in this as well. Light oak presence, nice cinnamon note on that. Nice and spicy as well, nice rye spice to it. Again, overall, I mean, you don't expect a lot to come from something under 90 proof, but so far more than I thought there would be, that's there. Even a slight milk chocolate note to that. Yeah, more of that cinnamon on, again, kind of the cinnamon and the vanilla, that vanilla wafer is almost kind of like a Cinnabon type of note to it. So yeah, and again, as I move the whiskey in the glass a little bit, good oils and stuff on the glass, but yeah, really nice overall nose so far. But more importantly, let's see how this one is going to taste. Cheers. So first off, the first thing you kind of notice is this velvety mouthfeel to it. Got a really nice mouthfeel to it. It's not thin like you'd expect it to be at, again, under 90 proof. Very mouth coating. If I was guessing, I would say that there's a chance that this is not non-chill filtered, just because of so far what it's kind of showing and how it's kind of tasting so far. But I'll have to double check on that. But very velvety mouth coating. Really, really nice spice to it, like right off the bat. Again, more than likely one of MGP's higher rye mash bills, which they're very well known for. So immediately get a lot of those bold rye spices, a little bit of that like kind of black pepper. Some of the oak tannins are there. But again, the mouth feels really nice. That lingering spices there. Again, some of those caramel notes, that vanilla, maybe a little bit of like a vanilla wafer, but that pastry in it again. Yeah, I mean, those dark fruits are there. There's a lot going on. It has caught me off guard a little bit from what it has to offer. It's more bold than I would say, you know, some 100 proof whiskeys that I've had. A lot going on. Really nice rye spice, really well balanced with the oak that's there. Again, those caramels, the vanillas, the dark fruit, definitely. Still some of that cinnamon is present. A little bit of a black pepper type of note. As it kind of transitions into the finish part, I would say maybe this is where it starts to fall a little bit flat. Early on, it's got a lot of those nice spices, the cinnamon, the oak, still some of that like vanilla caramel sweetness that's there. The finish part on it, not overly long. That's probably where this kind of starts to fall off for me, is the finish part. So you're constantly having to go back, I guess, to kind of get that flavor profile all over. But overall, I would say it's a really nice kind of just daily sipping, an easy sipping bourbon whiskey that has some, again, really great you know, notes to it. A lot of those, if you like something that's got a little bit of the spice, maybe a little black pepper, some of those dark fruits, still underlying vanillas, caramels, things along those lines, I think it's something that you'll really, really enjoy. And again, at $30, I mean, it's kind of I mean, it's a really, I would say this becomes a pretty solid value bourbon for me. So, I mean, in terms of recommending this to somebody, I would say it offers a fair amount in terms of a flavor profile. But again, where it kind of starts to fall off a little bit is just in the finish part of it. Again, it's not gonna be super long, anything along those lines. It's fairly short for the most part. But again, in terms of what it has to offer along the way, again, a lot of that sweetness characteristics, the dark fruits, the spice, the barrel influence to it. Overall, I think it's a really nice, you know, sipping bourbon. So in cocktails, I think it would probably hold up really well just because of the spice factor, some of the oak that's there. It's fairly bold, has some good fruit, some good dark fruit presence and stuff to it. So I think it would be a really nice, you know, mixing bourbon as well. So there you have it, 8 & Sand. More importantly, let me know in the comments below if this is something that you've tried, your thoughts. Always interested to hear people's thoughts and feedback on the particular bourbons that I'm doing a review of. So if you'd like to follow me, you can on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of those places, My Bourbon Journey. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can through my Patreon page, which I'll have linked in the description below. So with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to another one of my reviews. I greatly appreciate it. And always remember, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers.